You know, another interesting scenario that just emerged, this was on February 23rd, when PT put out their annual report, their equivalent of their annual filing. They brought up the point that the EU is now investigating them for antitrust violations because there's evidence that PT has not allowed other telecom carriers to use the wholesale broadband network and to cooperate. But this is a scenario where in the United States, because our structure is different as states under the United States versus EU, becomes very complicated. And I know Poland in the second half of this year will ascend to the presidency of the EU, and it's important that so many of these difficulties and conflicts are ironed out. But with the economy as poor as it is, it's not just in the United States where we are having a jobless recovery. I mean, this is prevalent, and we had bubbles that were created all over the world, and I think Europe is slower to emerge from this. Now, I just want to move on to one other interesting situation taking place in Poland that is of great interest to me as someone who focuses as well on clean technology. I actually have a fund that only invests in clean technology and sustainable energies. And what's interesting is that, I don't know if any of you know about fracking, hydraulic fracking. Okay, so this is fascinating. Do you know that Poland, if there's one important message to get out there to the people of Poland, it's that in the past 3 years, 79 concessions for hydraulic fracking have been given to multinational energy companies. And this is of great concern for me. So you have all these other countries across Europe that are saying, no, we're going to pass laws to prevent fracking. Now, why is it dangerous? The process of fracking, which is removing the oil, the natural gas from the shale, involves, the good part is you take water, and you hydraulically crush into the shale and release the natural gas, but chemicals are also mixed in to help with the process of releasing the natural gas. That is toxic, dangerous. There are numerous reports in the United States of areas where there's been hydraulic fracking of increases, significant increases in cancer, and the people of Poland need to understand that their health and safety is being sold out, underneath them. It's actually really interesting. Demand for natural gas in Poland is 14 billion cubic meters a year, and 10 billion of it come from Gazprom. Gazprom, the Russians. So I understand why you would want to produce your own natural gas. It makes all the sense in the world. But it's just another example. But these 79 concessions, it's interesting. I think, what is it, 1%? It's foreign direct investment into natural gas, and everyone's happy. Chevron's in there, ExxonMobil is in there. They're thrilled to go into Poland. They only pay 1% tax on the volume of hydrocarbons released, and then they pay a 19% corporate tax. So that's another area where, that self-interest and the short term, the same as with obviously this is about physical health and the health of your people, but in many ways, investment and relations with the rest of Europe and with the investment community are harmed in the PT example, where 500 million is just simply not being paid. That was a revenue share that is owed to a company, a Danish company, that invested and made the decision to take a chance and to help build out this telecom infrastructure. And there's no debate that it's owed, it's just not being paid. Or in the case of these 79 concessions where the rest of Europe is saying no to hydraulic fracking and the dangers, and here there's this rush to cash in, so to speak. I do want to say that Poland has 1.4 to 3 trillion cubic meters of natural gas, which is, it's a gold mine. It's a gold mine, literally. But in any kind of investment, it's essential to think about the long term for your own people, for your own investments, and for the relationship with the rest of Europe and the investment community abroad. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Hilary.